Hello friends, Lee here from TableTop Vase. Thanks for joining me. In this video, I thought we could hang out, have a fun sesh, and I'm going to answer a question I was asked after dropping a video not too many days ago showing a technique that I was using with the screwball to get super heavy hitting rips. So some people messaged me after I dropped that video and said, okay, that's cool, but what are we doing? How do we do that same thing with the Ace? Because, of course, the way the hot hole works, you can't, you can't just rest it like this and have the heat coil, because there's no way to keep this hot together, right? So that isn't the most efficient formula, which is what I was doing with the screwball. So people wanted to know, what is the way that we do this with the Ace? Is there a way? Oh yeah, you can do this with the Ace, and it's all kinds of fun, my friends. So I thought I would just jump on. I'll show you a couple of different techniques. I'll show you with the glass bowl, and I'll show you with the titanium bowl as well, so that you can see exactly, what is the best method for you, depending on which way you're going at it. So it's all kinds of fun. It's Friday night. I'm feeling playful, and I just want to kind of get into it. I've already had a couple of these, so I'm feeling pretty loose, and I thought, you know what, this is a great video for Friday night, because we could just, have some big rips and some big clouds. Why not? All right, so the whole idea is we want to get the bowl hot. Okay, so how are we going to do it? I'm going to bring this little torch lighter into play. This is called a Mystique lighter from Vector. This came from Great White North Vaporizer, Sneaky Pete's Canadian store. This is such a sweet little torch. I have found 1,000,001 uses for this torch. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the micro bowl. We'll start with that one. And I'm just going to use this torch to just gently, I'm going to rotate this, and I'm just going to put a little bit of heat around this outside rim. Okay, what we want to do is we want to get some heat into this titanium bowl before we use it. But what we're going to do is we're just going to use a torch as kind of a cheat here to get some quick heat in. It's a pretty easy way to do it. And as soon as I see anything that resembles smoke, I'm going to stop, which is going to be any second now. All right, so there's a little tiny bit of smoke coming off that. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and I'm going to put that upside down on top of the baller head in the hot hole of the Ace. I'm doing this so that now that little bit of heat that we put on there, it will get spread out and equalized while it's sitting on the actual baller head and just kind of leaching some heat out. We're using the hot hole to maintain the heat of the baller head. So if we let it sit like this now for, even 15 to 20 seconds, it doesn't take very long, and then we drop some dry herb in there and we rip it, you get super fast vapor, like instant boom. It's just, it's throwing all kinds of vapor, and it's very hard hitting. I'm running the Ace at 575 degrees Fahrenheit, so really kind of up at the upper end of the recommendation for this particular vaporizer. When you're going for big clouds, right, and you're doing all this extra heating, you want to throw some actual heat at this, right? This isn't low temperature daytime or super intentional vaping. This is something else. This is when we want to get silly and playful and let go of ourselves a little bit, and we want to get hit just a bit harder than we do normally. This is such a great benefit for people who are, really struggling to let go and have a good time. Ripping one or two like this can really kind of, because what you're doing is you're getting a massive wash of THC really fast. By doing this, you'll see. That's the best thing I can say. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get some dry herb, about this much, I suppose, ready on the scoop. And I'm going to just put it here. I'll get my whip hose ready so that I can drop the bowl in. And then I can drop the dry herb in, and I want to get the baller head on the bowl really quickly. I don't want there to be a whole lot of lag time here. This is kind of a timing thing, right? So I'm going to just do this. It's good and hot. Just want to make sure I'm not packing it hard. I'm just making sure it's not going to touch the heater, but it's full. Now we're going to just drop this on. We'll let it heat soak just for, say, about 10 seconds or so. This doesn't need very long because everything is already so hot. We're going to give this one big rip. Ready? Cheers. Oh yeah. When you heat the bowl like this, you're getting completely hybrid rips. You can see that's vaping it right out. Total hybrid rips. Huge effects from hitting clouds. Wow. From hitting clouds like that, I'll tell you what. Okay, so, okay, see if we can do some more. I can just see this whole cloud hanging around me. Okay, so the question was, what about with the glass bowl? Okay, so is that the same thing? Can you even do that with the glass bowl? Should you do that? What I found is, you know, the glass bowl will pick up heat pretty quickly. So what I'm doing is I'm taking this off, right? Taking the plug out. I'm putting it upside down, and I'm using the marble, and I'm putting it up on top. I'm doing that so that, you know, there's no chimney for the heat to just pass straight through. You know, when you block that heat inside the bowl, now you're going to actually, you know, amplify a little bit more heat in there, taking the plug out because, of course, it'll fall out when you flip it upside down. But it also allows, you know, with the way heat rises, it's not going to lose all the heat out this downward facing point, right? Oh, too much science for a stoner on the fly, right? Here's the thing. Put that on top, it gets hotter. That's the truth. That's what I know. So, you know, you don't have to have that up there for very long. 20 seconds, 30 seconds. You know, if you're a patient person, you can leave it for a minute or so and you're going to get a really nice heat soak. And what I do is I just grab it by the, you know, the joint where you're going to put the plug back in. And I just move it toward the bowl very quickly, and I have the dry herb ready to go already so that I'm not losing too much heat out of the bowl. And then I just move the baller head as quickly as I can. What do you think? Should we do it? All right, let's go. Plug in. Dry herb in. We are set. Cheers. Yeah. Man, that hits so hard. Okay, so the only other variation we have left that we haven't talked about is what if you want to use the traditional bowl that comes with the Ace, right? What if you want to use this one? Here's the move. The move is go to a half bowl setting for starters, and then we'll do the exact same thing that we just did with the micro bowl. We'll just put a little bit of heat around it. Nothing crazy. We don't have to go too hot. But we're just going to use this little Mystique torch lighter. Put some heat on this bowl so it doesn't take as long to heat it up. A little over here. All right. If you want to get it good and hot, you can also use your marble when you're doing the titanium bowls as well. and you can hold that heat in. So it also makes it, you know, everything heat soaks just a little bit faster this way, right? So we're gonna just let this, this doesn't really need to heat up too much now, right? Because I did it with the lighter, but why we're doing this is because it gives it an opportunity to heat soak the whole thing evenly. It just ends up, making the whole thing even, so that, you know, the heating it's not spotty, there's not hot spots, so that when you rip on it, you get really even vaporization. All right, let's do it. It's already hot. So this is the traditional bowl, half bowl setting. I'm putting in as much dry herb as I can. I'm just keeping it down level. That bowl is good and hot. I got the baller head on as quick as possible. We'll let that sit for 10 seconds. This is gonna be a good one. Cheers. Get some crazy rips with the Ace, eh? Here's what I'll tell you. Had a rough day? There's a reset for you right there. Depending on your tolerance of 1 or 2 or maybe even 3 of those, you'll be fully reset. Happy Friday. All right, that's it, my friends. I just wanted to show you guys exactly how you could do that with the Ace to get the really big, full hybrid rips. Until next time, take care.